Now, what a fantastic time to be a Genoa supporter. Flying high in the league, flying high in Europe. Transfer window is open. We've made a lot of money so far with players out. A couple of good transfers coming in for next season as well. Let's get into it. So since the fantastic double-header win that we had in the last episode, things have been going very well in the league so far. Although we did suffer our second Serie A loss of the season, this time to Lazio. 2-1 loss. We didn't deserve anything from this game. Maybe European games are causing fatigue with the squad. Not too sure yet. However, we did follow that up with a 3-2 win against AC Milan. And we did go down to 10 men with 30 minutes still to play. But we managed to see off some fierce rivals in Milan. And we then went to the San Siro and beat Inter Milan. This was a fantastic game. This was 3-1 winners. We ended up defeating Inter Milan. A lot of bookings as well. I think with the get stuck in tactic, our team do just that. But other than getting stuck into the opponent, goals get stuck into the net. Try to figure out how to say that properly. Frendrup into Baldanzi. He's been fantastic in the central attacking position. Gallo into the box. Nelson Viper. Bad news for him at the minute. He's currently out for the next 4 months with an injury. But he got us off the mark in this game. Dumfries then, however, down the right hand side for Inter. Finds Sanchez. Into Martinez. A bit of a carbon copy of the goal that we just scored. But, you know, Inter Milan are a fantastic team in this game save. But it wasn't to be their day on this occasion. Terracciano picking up a lovely ball from Esposito and Baldanzi smashing the ball off the post. I mean, you can probably see the dent from here. That was tragic on Inter Milan's behalf. And then Newton Boom and Fabian, nice little link-up play. Terracciano back into Newton Boom. And Newton Boom, he's been a fantastic signing for me. Well worth the 32 million that we have spent on him. And we followed up that win against Inter Milan with a 2-1 victory over Juventus. Caleb Akoli and Viper again getting on the score sheet. A couple of sending offs for both teams there. Brandon Soppi and Arambari for Juventus. Yeah, things are... We play quite tough football as it seems with this tactic. Now Torino, it was a 3-3 draw with them. We kind of didn't deserve this win. We didn't deserve to win. Perfundi even getting a 93rd minute goal in, and Ever Ferguson as well on 88 minutes. Yeah, we're the comeback kings at the minute. And then following up with Atalanta, a lovely 3-1 win. Newton Boom on the score sheet again. Now 3 late goals coming in here after Atalanta got an early goal with Scamacca. Now Scamacca was the player that we were looking at to kind of replace Retegui. Evan Ferguson, he seems enough up for the job, and I'll show you his stats after we run through our games here. But as I mentioned, Scamacca getting Atalanta off the score sheet, well, off the mark, first on the score sheet. Kardasecchi, probably could have done a bit bigger there. But Soppi, finding Elamas, he's been a fantastic free signing for us. Into Baldanzi, lovely deft finish past the goalkeeper there. It wasn't the end of it. Obviously, you've seen the score. Baldanzi now on the right to Ferguson. Newton Boom into the box. Lovely goal for Newton Boom. Again, he's been fantastic this season. He's playing all across the front line. Striker when we require. And then Perfundi into Frendrup. Jinx past one. A lovely finish into the back of the net. Things seem to be going quite well for us so far in this area. A demolition of Cremonese, 4-0. Sassuolo, 3-0 demolition there. Akoli, Ferguson and Van Dalzi on the score sheet. Monza, 5-1 win. Goals have been flowing in this team. And then lastly, a 4-0 win over Parma. Ferguson getting on the score sheet here. He had 1 goal disallowed, which is unfortunate. But as you can see, they're playing very well. Our average rating is really high as well with the squad. And we had 27 shots with 11 on target in this game. Completely steamrolled Parma. Vidovic down the right. back to Esposito, opens up the scoring for us on the day. There's some transfer interest in Esposito, which we're trying to fend off. Bastoni into Vidovic, out to Gallo. Elmas for his first of the game. Turk should have done a lot better there, but Elmas put him to the spot. Wow, he missed the penalty first of all, and then tapped in the rebound. You don't mind if they miss them as long as they score the rebound. However, then Ferguson, to kind of end things in this game, Gallo being deflected shot, and Ferguson taps it in past the goalkeeper. And how is the league looking? We're currently top of the Serie A. We are 9 points ahead of Juventus. We've won 17, drawn 2, lost 2. Looking at the player stats as we go as well, Evan Ferguson has 11 goals this season. Joint third, top 3 goal scorer in the league. Average rating, Tommaso Baldanzi, 7.26 at the minute. His valuation shot up quite nicely, around about the 20 million mark man. But 6 goals, 4 assists, 3 player of the matches in Serie A, 7.26 rating, doing very nicely indeed. Although Salvatore Esposito, 10 yellow cards to his name in the Serie A. I mentioned there was teams that are wanting him, Arsenal and AC Milan. Yeah, hopefully we can keep hold of him. He's not interested in discussing anything just yet, but fingers crossed we can get this man to sign a new contract for us. And that's not all. Looking at the Europa League, obviously we left it off with a 3-2 win against Olympiacos. We followed it up with a 5-1 win over Borussia Mönchengladbach. Vidovic, Samardic, Baldanzi and Ferguson all getting off the mark. All on the score sheet there. And then a nice 3-0 victory over Levski Sofia, Elmas, Zabani and Esposito all getting on the score sheet for us. Now today's 2 games, Besiktas and West Ham. Before we get into that, let me show you the transfers. Now the outs first of all, we've managed to raise around about 17-18 million pounds in sales out. First of all, Nahit Hernandez has left the club, 3.8 million, with add-ons going up to 4 million as well. Yeah, he was a good servant for us, but only played 4 games for us this season, and a £4 million bid came in for Nahit Hernandez, and it felt like the right time to let him go. And Matteo Lovato, another player that we have let go, £6.5 million bid from Atalanta. It's probably about time that a player went the other way, considering the amount of players that we did buy from Atalanta this season alone. Now, he played 2 games for us this season, Lovato. He's only played 1 so far for Atalanta. A player that we bought for 2.6 million plus a player exchange, I think 6.5 million for Matteo Lovato. He's a very good centre back, but if we can compare him to kind of what we had at the club, where is he? Where's Zabani? Zabani, the guy that we brought in. Now, Lovato isn't as good as Zabani, a little bit more aerial. So if you take the £6 million off the Lovato bill, Zabani's only cost us 10 million so far, and he's having a very good season with us. Also, leaving the club, Lorenzo Luca, 3.2 million. He's gone to Bologna. He just didn't have his chance with the club. 1.3 million was spent on him. 2 goals all of last season. Played 3 games in the league this season. No goals to his name. 3.2 million for Lorenzo Luca. He was on a fair chunk of wages as well. So, very happy to move him on. The experiment never worked. 6'7", maybe one day we'll have our own big target striker coming through the ranks. But a big player that has left us as well, Nedem Amiri, 3.4 million to Salernitana. Again, out of contract at the end of next season. Or was it this season? I don't think we were going to find out. It might have been this season actually. He was out of contract. Salernitana have sealed his signature for January, 3.4 million. Again, a lot of wages off our bill. Very happy with that sale. And lastly, the kind of big fee was Ranier has gone to Udinese, 1.7 million. Now, we spent 45,000 on him. He had a good first season with us when he joined. Didn't play at all this season in the Serie A. So 1.7 million for Ranier. Very happy indeed. Now, 2 transfers that haven't officially arrived at the club just yet. One is Angelo. He's out of contract at the end of the season, and we've managed to sign. Oh my god, he's injured. How long is he out for? Only 3 weeks. That's all right. He's signed a pre-contract agreement with us. He's going to come in next season, 37,000 a week. He's 21 years of age. He's going to be a non-EU player potentially, but very happy to bring in Angelo. He did actually all right when he joined us. I mean, he played 11 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, but we didn't play him that much because he wasn't our own player. However, from next season, Angelo, he'll be what, 20, still 21. Very happy to bring Angelo into the club. And another player from Chelsea to come in is Cesar Casadilla. Again, 25,000 a week. He's coming in for. He looks like a perfect centre midfield option. If Esposito unfortunately does leave us, I think he's the man to come in and replace him straight away. I mean, if we can compare the two of them, there was Esposito there. More defending from Esposito, but everywhere else, Cassidy is kind of a better centre midfielder. So very happy for that. So they're the ones for the future. However, transfers to already come in. Well, Nicolo Tresoldi, 10 million we've spent on him. We've allowed him to stay at Hanover for the rest of the season. We look at how he's done so far in the Serie A. In the Bundesliga. 7 goals in 21. That's 1 in 3 games. Not too bad at all. He had a good season last season with 15 in 26. Should be a very good striker coming for us. 21 years of age, 6 foot. He used to be a future Christian Vieri. Not to be anymore, however. Which is a shame. But 10 million spent. Very happy to bring in Tresoldi. And then 3 kind of just youngsters that have come in. Paul Bardson, centre back, Icelandic, 17 years of age, 14 tackling. I think for a centre back, straight away, because you can't teach how to tackle in Football Manager. Mentals, they seem fine. Physicals are fine. He's only 17 years of age, 6'2", and we spent, what was it, 67,000 on him. Should be a good signing to bring in. Now, Teo Josic, 700,000 brought in. Was it from Salzburg? No, Austria. Klagenfurt. Butchered that. I do apologise. Teo Josic, valued in at 2 million at the max. Again, he's a good young player to come in. 18 years of age now, 17 when we bought him. We should make some good profit on this guy. And lastly, for the youngsters so far, Axel Bettens. Now this guy was media description as a powerful centre-back. It's still there as a powerful centre-back. All round, looks like a good player. Good strength, good jumping reach, bravery of 20, 18 determination, 16 teamwork. Is he a future captain in the making? Maybe, maybe not. But they're the only players to come through the door so far. Now we're all here for the games in the Europa League against Besiktas and West Ham. Let's get into it. The team that is going to face Besiktas today: Konasechi in goal, Terracciano, Okoli, Zabagni and Gallo, Esposito as our anchor, with Bastoni as the roaming playmaker, Newton Boom, Baldanzi, Vidovic and Ferguson up front. Should be quite a comfortable game for us. We're currently second in the Europa League, only behind Aston Villa. We haven't lost a game just yet. I'm very much hoping so that this won't be the game that we do lose. But a big game against West Ham next. Also, very, very happy. An early kickoff highlight, probably not what we really want, but as it is playing now, Amate, not even an attempt to have announced that name. What is that? Hadzlahemetovic? No, maybe not. Anyway, Rosier for Besiktas into Mukiela. Konasechi turns it onto the post, it goes down for a corner. Forget about pronouncing the names, Ross. Focus on your team, and we are going to demand more going into this. straight away, 40 seconds in, Besiktas nearly put us to the sword. Keira swings it in, Zabanyi heads it away, it's still up in the air, and it has gone out for a throw-in. I mean, do Besiktas need to win this game to kind of get anywhere in the league? Not too sure, but Newton Boom is brought down by Rosier. Amati now out to Rashika. Gallo inside, wins the ball very nicely there. Good run by Gallo, out to Newton Boom on the left. What can he do? Into the box, off the post. Ferguson, what's going on? Is it a foul? No. Okay, maybe not. Gallo's going to win the header back into Newton Boom. And, I mean, we do kind of strike back quite quickly in that, but not what we require. And looking at the league, Besiktas, where are they sitting? I mean, they do need a win in order to go into the knockout playoff rounds. And unfortunately, we have dropped into 4th position, but we are going to demand more. I mean, I'm not sure if we can drop out of the automatic qualification positions. I really hope we don't. I don't want to go through a playoff kind of round again. As Chamberlain finds Maluka, and it's gone 1-0 up. I mean, the linesman's got his flag up. He looked quite offside, but it's a fantastic pass by Alexander Chamberlain. Is he onside? It has been disallowed, thank God for that. Although he was quick off the mark there, Maluka. How's he looking? I mean, he's a solid striker. Very solid striker. Nothing that we don't have, but yeah, he's absolutely miles off. Forget about that, Ross. And the game, with not a lot going on so far. Terracciano now, into Esposito. Nice little 1-2. Whips it in. Back post is Ferguson. 1-0 Ferguson. Lovely stuff. 14th goal of the season. He's definitely picked up the mantle from Retegui. I should have got Ferguson on the back of this shirt, other than Retegui. However, we was never to have known when I did order the shirt. As Terracciano whips it in, Ferguson back post. Lovely header that was. Fantastic indeed. After the early scare from Besiktas, we've dominated. Looking at the stats here, 13 shots to us, 1 to Besiktas, 4 on target, 62% possession. I mean, I'm the same, far from pleased still. And we are going to demand more going into this. It's only a 1-goal game, and we are currently level with Aston Villa on points. Let's get a few more goals here as Terracciano picks it up on the right-hand side. I mean, there's no one in the box there except for Ferguson and Newton Boom at the back. Or is that Vidovic? No, it is Newton Boom. Esposito to Bastoni. Hit that. It's deflected just behind. I mean, it's just very confident play from ourselves here. Baldanzi on a 6.5 isn't fantastic. Newton Boom on a 6.8 could do better. Zabanyi at the back post, it's 2-0. Lovely stuff. Ilya Zabanyi with his 4th goal of the season. I mean, 17 million, was it too much? I don't think it's proven that way now. 4 goals, fantastic stuff. Baldanzi, we're going to bring you off. The Casavenda. I mean, Newton Boom on a 6.6, not really what we want to see. So we're going to bring in Pafundi. And I mean, Zabanyi's on a 6.7. No point taking him off. Esposito, however, he can come off for Frendrup. And we'll save a couple of subs going forward. Maybe we'll bring on Pellegrini for Evan Ferguson, just to save him for the West Ham game. So Amate now. Back to Mert. Bit of a sad sounding name that is, Mert. Cartel Keira hits it long. Zabanyi has headed it back to Karnasetchi. Can we get a demand more? Let's get a praise in. Let's make them feel good about themselves here. I mean, Vidovic, we could potentially save him and Ferguson with 20 minutes to go. As Gallo picks it up on the outside of the box. Into Zabanyi. Bastoni back to Zabanyi. It's nice link-up play here. Frendrup out to Gallo. Finds Casavienda. Casavienda's still got the ball into Ferguson. 2 for him in this game. Very nice to see. I was about to take him off. Don't think I can take him off with him sitting on the hat-trick now. So Vidovic will bring you off for Elmas. And then maybe... can't do that. You know what? We won't bring him off at Elmas. Bungard will bring you on. Then we move Bastoni to left back. And then we'll have Elmas in centre midfielder position. As Vidovic wins the ball, gives it to Gallo, into Bastoni. Nice overlap there by Terracciano, but it is a nothing highlight. Looking at the stats that we've done here as well. 19 shots, 6 on target, 61% possession. It's been complete total football from ourselves here. Ferguson plays a 1-2 to kind of no one, and Rosier wins the ball back into Amate, over the top to Maluka. Muleka. I mean, good play by Muleka there. Back post is Kenk. Although Muleka's going all on his own. Very, very selfish from him there. I'll be fuming if that was my player. I probably would have subbed him as well, if that was my player. But not to be. You know, we're going to praise them again. What's that? 2 minutes left of the game. Bastoni into Elmas. Bungard now. Loses out to Chamberlain. Can he win it back? I mean, he puts a good tackle in, but Chamberlain has walked away with the ball there. Amate. Gotta watch out for Cenk on the left-hand side. Chamberlain into Anana, but Akali wins the header. Pafundi now. Ferguson's there, gives it to Elmas. Have we got anything here? Bungard, Casavenda, he's put it just wide. I mean, fantastic play. Nice little link-up. Nice triangles as well. 2 minutes to go. What a comprehensive win. What a fantastic win that was. Evan Ferguson, best performer, his 2 goals, poachers finishes, and we'll have a look at his kind of stats going after this, and we have qualified. Lovely to see. Looks like we won't be going through the knockout playoff rounds as it is. Currently sitting in second place, 2 points behind Aston Villa. And looking at Ferguson, if we can, so far this season in the Serie A, 11 goals, 3 assists and 3 player of the matches, 4 goals and 1 assist in the Europa League. He's having a fantastic season for us. Well worth the outlay of 17 million, but obviously he has got the added on bonuses as well for Brighton, but enough of that. We've got West Ham next. They're currently in 7th. They can't overtake us. Let's just go and have some fun. That is only one change to the team that's comfortably dispatched of Besiktas in the last game. Pietro Pellegrini coming in for Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson currently slightly got an injury, so let's rest him for this game. And Pellegrini, newly registered for the team as well. Let's give him a run around. Probably need a couple of other players to come in as kind of homegrown at club. I think Eddie Salcedo potentially being one because he can cover the front 4 positions that we have. But a very strong West Ham team that we are going to face today, with Ivan Toney leading the way up front for them. And as you can see here, Pellegrini coming in. Yeah, he's not been fantastic, but it's his time to shine in this game today. We are away at West Ham, at the London Stadium, and we are going to demand more straight away. We're kind of hoping that Villa don't win their game, or yeah, I think even with the goal difference we might be slightly at risk here, as Ward-Prowse headers it in, well, crosses it in, and Agard has headed it past Kernasecchi. Now we have qualified already for the round of 16, but you know, let's not have a poor performance here. We want some momentum as we go into the latter stages of the Europa League. And we have dropped down into 5th. And yeah, don't think there's a way that we can fully drop out. No, we haven't. Dropped down into 3rd. As Ward-Prowse, he's going to throw it into Bowen. Gallo wins the ball, clears it away to Kurt Zouma. Into Mavropanos. Sushek into Ward-Prowse. I mean, it is nice play from West Ham. We are going to demand more. And Zouma, is he playing kind of as a right back here? I'm not fully sure. Johnson into the box. Past Kernasecchi. Poor goalkeeping from him there. I mean, if we can end the game now, that would have been very, very nice. But yeah, not fantastic at the minute. poor second goal to concede. I mean, maybe this tactic isn't going to be working against West Ham. Are we missing Ferguson up front? Not fully sure. But we've finally scored. Well, not finally scored. Finally actually got a couple of shots on the West Ham goal. But that was poor, that was. You know what? Sort it out. I mean, I don't think I can blame just Pellegrini for that. But we are going to berate the team as well. We need something from the final 30 minutes here. But nothing is happening. We're going to berate them again. Let's make a couple of changes here now. Right. Swap back to our right to dream formation. Vidovic and Pellegrini. Pellegrini's been poor. I'm going to bring in Ferguson. I mean, Profundi hasn't been great. You know what? Elmas will bring you off. Profundi or Vidovic. Newton Boom, to be fair, for Baldanzi. There's a lot of players here that haven't played very well at all. Samadic will bring you in. Rendrup for Baldanzi. And Antonio Gallo for Bastoni. I mean, 4 changes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes to go, I should say. And this game we haven't turned up for this one. We're dropping into 4th place. I mean, not a lot to say. What a quick game that was. Apparently we've matched them with shots. But the 2 first half goals for West Ham have put us to the sword there. We've played pretty poor as well. But we are 4th currently. We are going to make it into the round of 16. Who's this guy with a hat-trick here? Castelliot Imeri. Just curious, but yeah, pretty poor showing from ourselves. After what feels like hours, the transfer window is finally closed, and we have been kind of the biggest spenders in this window. 32 million has been spent by ourselves. We've brought in 8 players and 24 players have left us. Now, just going to show you what has happened towards the end of the window. There's one massive transfer which we couldn't stop from happening, and I mentioned before, Esposito. Paris Saint-Germain triggered his minimum fee release clause, which is like 11 million. Absolutely gutted about this. He's left us. He was our best player this season by a country mile as well. Absolutely fantastic. However, we've only bought him for 1.7, so we've kind of 10 times our, maybe not, 5-6 times our profit there, which isn't too bad, all things considered. And a bit of a weird kind of transfer as well. Ruben Balma. He's a guy that we brought in on a free last season. Clearly we've been training him quite well, because Dortmund have come in, all transfer window they've been trying to buy him. 2 million they started off at, and somehow we've managed to get it up to 10.75 million. Yeah, very, very peculiar. Like, would you have sold this guy? I don't see where the £10 million bid has come from, but Dortmund clearly have the money to burn, so thank you for that, Dortmund. And Lorenzo Montipo, our kind of backup goalkeeper, he's gone for 375,000. It was just a way to remove the wages from the bill. Yeah, maybe come back to bite us this one if there's anything, touch wood, that ever happens to Konasechi. But they're kind of the ins and outs that have happened. Well, the outs that have happened. Now the ins, have we replaced anyone? We have replaced Esposito. And a couple of players here. Kefran Turam. This guy, we spent 21 million on him. We used the 10 million from Esposito, and we've used obviously 11 million of our transfer fee as well. Now looking at since the start of the game save for Nice, he's had a fantastic season. Very consistent, 7.0, 7.04, 7.03. Very happy to get in Kefren Turam. He's French nationality, but also Italian, so can't complain with that. Hopefully he can get an Italian call up to the national team while he's with us here. But if we can kind of compare Salvatore Esposito and Thuram, Esposito slightly better on the mentals, but everything else Thuram matches and even betters in terms of vision, attacking ability, technical and aerial. So yeah, 6'4" as well. Absolute unit this guy is. Very happy to bring him in. And also kind of another loan signing as well that we have brought in. If we can find him, where is he? Mandela Keita. He's coming on loan from Manchester City. We're not paying any of his wages, and it's a future fee of 1.8 million. Now, if we can compare him to Salvatore Esposito as well, other than the mentals, again, Mandela Keita, he matches Esposito in kind of every position here. So potentially to get 1.8 million to sign Mandela Keita, yeah, there's nothing fancy about him, but very happy to get him over the line. And lastly, Caviglia, or Hans Nicolucci Caviglia. He was on a free, 4.8 thousand a week wages, just brought in as a backup, nothing major. He should do a fine job at the club. And that is that for the transfer window. That is that for the episode. Now, when we come back, we are going to be coming back for the round of 16 of the Europa League. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when we try to make Genoa great again. Goodbye.